Hey, we pulling? What's up, it's Jimfro, and this is the normal guide to Throne of the Four Winds. Big shout out to our supporters on Patreon for making these guides possible. They get early access to all of our guides and direct access to our supporter channel and Discord. If you're interested in that, check out the links in the description. The first boss is the Conclave of Wind. This is a 3-boss console-style fight. The bosses are on 3 different platforms that you get to by using these wind gusts. And the goal is to kill them all within 1 minute of each other or else they heal to full. So you need to split your raid between the 3 bosses, and at least one person needs to be on each platform at all times. You need a tank on the platforms for Anshal and Nazir, but not on Roash. You need a healer on all 3 platforms, and you need to split your DPS between Anshal and Roash with a little bit more on Anshal. The complicated part of the fight involves everyone having to switch platforms every once in a while to handle mechanics, and there are a million ways you can go about it, but here's what we recommend. Right before the bosses get to 90 energy, the tanks and healers on Anshal and Nazir should swap platforms, and all of the DPS should come to Nazir. This is because the bosses have big ultimate abilities at 90 energy, and you need a lot of people on Nazir's platform to split the damage from his ultimate. Also, the wind gust things are disabled while the ultimates are going on. And the reason the tanks and healers swap is because Nazir puts a stacking debuff on you the longer you're on the platform, and they need to wear off. After the ultimates are over, all the DPS go back to their starting platforms and continue doing their thing. Then the same platform switch happens again right before 90 energy, then it's just rinse and repeat. Keep in mind that you may have to move DPS around on the fly to get the bosses to die within a minute of each other, but ideally you kill Anshal and Roash around the same time, and then everyone comes to Nazir's platform to finish him off real quick. The whole boss swapping thing is the hard part. The actual boss mechanics are way simpler. On the Anshal platform, some ads spawn that you need to cleave down from range and make sure they're dead before the 90 energy thing is coming up. The tank also has to keep the boss and the ads out of the green healing circle that's on the ground. On the Roash platform, there's a bunch of wandering tornadoes to dodge, and when the boss is casting Wind Blast, everyone has to keep avoiding his frontal as he slowly spins around. And for the Nazir platform, the tank has to face the boss away from the group because of a frontal, and everyone has to stay out of the little ice patches on the ground. And that's pretty much it. Here's a recap of the fight for you to screenshot for later. Now, onto the next boss, Alakir. Alakir is a 3-phase fight and only 1 tank is needed. For phase 1, stay spread out horizontally around the boss because he casts a cone on a random player. And make sure to be kinda close to the boss because he does a raid-wide knockback. Everyone should dodge between the tornadoes that sweep across the platform, but try to avoid doing this when it overlaps with the knockback, and stay out of the ice patches on the ground. When the boss gets to 80% health, he starts phase 2, where he stops doing all of the phase 1 mechanics except for the tornadoes, but now he does ramping raid-wide damage for the whole phase and spawns a Stormling ad every 20 seconds. Everyone should stack up for healing, the tank should get aggro on the ad and position it slightly away from the group because it does AoE damage, and the ranged DPS should kill it as soon as possible. When the ad dies, it puts a stack of a damage taken debuff on the boss, and if you kill the ads fast enough, the debuff keeps stacking up. And you really need it because the boss has an insane amount of health and his ramping raid damage gets too crazy after a while. You may even need to use Bloodlust once he has a few stacks to get through the phase fast enough. When the boss gets to 25% health, he starts phase 3 where he destroys the platform and makes it so everyone can fly. The main thing you need to do in this phase is group up and move together vertically every time the boss spawns lightning clouds at your elevation. If you have enough DPS, you could just start at the very top of the room and move down a little every time the clouds spawn, eventually running out of room at the bottom. Or if you need a little more time, you can start at the top and move down 3 times and then go all the way to the bottom and move up 3 times, back to the top and repeat, never running out of room. Other than that, players that get the lightning rod debuff have to move away from the raid before they start exploding with lightning for a few seconds. And everyone has to move back toward the boss after each time he knocks everyone back with Wind Burst, or else you can get knocked out of the fight. And that's pretty much it. Here's a recap of the fight for you to screenshot for later. Again, thank you to our supporters for making these videos possible. If you have any questions or need any help at all, check out the Discord link in the description. Peace.